Hey everybody, it's the Shape here, and first things first, my last video sucked, made a huge mistake, and man, did you guys ever let me know about it. First things first, now I caught a lot of constructive criticism in the last video, a lot of it from like either other channels or just my subscribers in general, and that kind of stuff I appreciate because you can learn from it. I mean, anybody that cares enough to comment on a video that I make and say those things, they got to care about what I'm putting out, or they wouldn't even comment to begin with. They'd be like, I ain't worried about it. So I do appreciate that. Shout out to you, World of Mr. Gray. I really appreciate that. That comment really, among others, opened my eyes a lot more. So yeah, I'm grateful for it. 75% of the comments were constructive, but there's 25% that were a bit overboard. Yet, you know, after doing that, I can kind of see why people would do that for sure. I can understand. I had a lot of people unsub, rightfully so. Like I said, I deserve every bit of it. It's my fault. When you go into things like that, friendship or no friendship, if you're a debunker, you had better be unbiased. No ifs, ands, buts, coconuts about it. Unbiased and look at it from an outside observer. Look at the facts. And don't let friendship or anything hinder your judgment. Now, I do agree with a few things I said in the last video, but not all of it. I mean, I agree that some of that stuff is out of context, and I stand by that. I also agree that the fact that somebody would record and upload it, or give it to somebody else to upload, is a dirty deal, and I stand by that. However, the footage was obtained, it was put on camera, and it was put out for the world to see. So, and I know people probably may be getting sick of hearing about it. I've heard so much about it, I'm sick of hearing about it. But like I said, it's my bad, my mistake, and I accept full responsibility about it. I'm no better than anybody else. If I can dish it out, I better damn sure be able to take it. And this video ain't gonna be monetized because, well, I just don't want it to be monetized. Well, that and the fact that, you know, either way, YouTube's been giving me problems either way, monetized or not monetized. So I want it to be ad free. So if there's ads in this video, I didn't put them there. However, now here's what I'm going to touch on in this video. First, I'm going to touch on what went on in my last video and all that. Then I want to just talk about it briefly, and then I'll move on to what the video's about, which is Missing 411, David Paulides. And I think I might have discovered something. And it's a pretty daggone good bust, if I must say so myself. And I apologize to each and every one of my subscribers. I make mistakes. I'm a human being. And I'm not perfect. I made mistakes before this, and I'll make mistakes after this. I mean, it's just the way it is. Nobody's perfect. However, if I make a mistake, I'll hit it head on and learn from it and move on. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to sit there and let it tear me down, because in the end, it does nobody no good. I want to put out entertaining videos for you guys, and that's what I enjoy doing. Anywho, if I was Franko, I would at least do a live stream for my subscribers, and explain what happened, and be honest about it. That's what I would do. Because, or, I mean, if you gloss over something like that, you can't pretend it didn't happen because everybody's seen it. You just can't pretend. So I would just do a live stream or whatever, or a video explaining, here's my side of it. The good thing about it is I've gotten both sides of the story because the other guy, he uploaded a video. And if y'all interested in that, I will do a full breakdown on both sides of the story and make a video on it. But if you're like, oh God, I'm sick of hearing about it, comment down below if you would like to see it, or you would rather just say, hey, move on and do other stuff. Comment below, that way I'll know. But either way, I was biased in that video, and every time I watch that video, I shrink. And by the last time I watched it, I was like a half an inch tall. It was miserable, cringe. But live and learn and move on. I can promise you from now on, I don't care who it is, I'm going to be unbiased. Straight up. My apologies. I love you guys, and that savor the flavor because it's not going to happen again. From now on, I'm going to get all the input, all the evidence, all sides of the story before I mean, trust me, I got 3/4 of that video made already, and I've got both sides of the story. Like I said, if you're interested, let me know. If you're not, let me know. Yeah. But just to point out a few issues I had with what that guy uploaded, he said, now obviously the guy said, ooh, this is kind of scary. Now the guy said that he didn't put the video out, he didn't have it pre-planned or anything to use that against Franko. But I got a bit to say about that, because if you pre-record something in advance, if you pre-record anything in advance, that tells me that you had the intent to possibly use it. So that's not a really good argument to make. That's pre-planned, premeditated. That's just one of many things I had issue with. However, I believe some of the stuff he said as well. I mean, he said his daughter's getting death threats. I think she's 3 years old, which is ridiculous. And I know the people that's giving her or them death threats watch my videos. And I don't know who you are, though, of course. But don't do that. That's sick. Nobody wins. And if you're going to continue to do that, I hope they find out who you are, because you deserve everything coming to you. And I don't agree with the way the footage was obtained, of course. I still don't. However, the evidence is damning, and there's a lot of it. So, it's obvious what the evidence indicates. So, whether I agree with the way it's caught or not, the fact of the matter was, it's on camera. It's on camera. So, but guys, it's up to you if you want to see a video in the future on the subject. Like I said, I'm not going to dwell on it. No, I'll be glad to do a video on it. And be unbiased, of course. Like I said, I apologize to all you guys. That was messed up. That was stupid. And like I said, it's not going to happen again. That's for sure. I might make mistakes, but I'm not going to make that one. Yeah. Now, David Pilatus, I'm coming for you, buddy. I'm a big fan of David Paulides, so guys, go sub to Can-Am Missing Project. It's his only channel on here.
This is location number 2 that the singles group came with Jared and his sister. It sits adjacent to the Cache La Puta River. The river is known throughout northern Colorado as a world-class fly fishing location. They spent a short amount of time here, and this is where destination and reality met, because they decided that they wanted to walk a local trail, the Big South Trail. So this is where it all started, the trail hike with the Christian group and Jared and Jocelyn out of Darrow. When they got here, the group decided that they were going to hike up this trail right here. And they didn't get too far before some unusual things happened, which we'll talk about in a second.
Now, Jared Adadero went missing in 1999, I think, and I'm going to play video clips of, remember, I'm not an expert in this. However, I got the right to judgment just like anybody else does, because I support what David Paulides does. Hold up. I support what David Paulides does, but I have also a right to look at these cases individually, and if I see something that don't make sense, I got a right to call it out as well. I mean, I bought a few of his books. I've watched both of his movies, Missing 411 and Missing 411 The Hunted. Now, keep in mind, I'm not an expert on it. Dave Paulides is the go-to when it comes to this stuff. He's wrote multiple books on it. He's got really good knowledge, and I appreciate everything this guy does, because he shines a light on missing people and trying to get closure for these families that have suffered through it. And this is not a dig at him in any way. This is just this one particular, well, there's more, but this one particular case, I think I might have possibly, not for sure, but I think I might have solved. Although I look stupid doing it, bear with me, because it's pretty good. And nobody's brought it up ever. I'm the first one to bring this up. Now, let's dive into the story. Now, I know I ain't added much to the story yet, but it's not got to the part that I'm trying to debunk. I mean, I'm just letting y'all get filled in on the information of what happened to the Jared. That way, when I give you my informed decision on what I think happened, it'll make more sense to you.
This area of the Comanche Peak, it's very wild, very quick, with elk herds, mountain lions, bears, etc.
Now, for me, keyword is mountain lion, and out of those particular animals.
We're now at campground number 2, about 40 minutes down the trail. And this is the area where Jared, walking down the trail alone, came across 2 fishermen next to the river. He asked the 2 men if they'd seen any bear on the trail. The 2 men responded that they hadn't seen bear, and they hadn't known of any bear on these trails. And Jared nodded to him. The men didn't stop him, and the boy continued past us down further on the trail. These were the last 2 people to see Jared alive. Well, we're at 9,125 feet, about 550 feet above the trail where Jared disappeared, and the location of his final resting place. This is the area where search and rescue found 1 tooth and the top of his cranium. They found his pants inside out.
Now, I did my experiment earlier today because it hit me that what I need to focus on was the fact the pants were found inside out and the shoes were found 5,000 feet above the trail, which means, how come his shoes didn't come off? And people seem to use that as making it more strange. Now, it is strange when you look at it at first, but is it really that strange is the question. And I would love for David Paulides to see this video, because what I'm about to do in this experiment is stupid looking, because I'm a grown man and I'm pulling my pants, or my jogging pants, because that's really the only kind that I have that would simulate good what kind of pants Jared was wearing. I mean, I do look like an idiot. I'm a 40-year-old man. However, I want you to watch this experiment, and I'll show you exactly what could have kept his shoes from coming off. Check it out. Hello, everybody. Now, this is a bit awkward, but the things I do for you guys is unreal. Okay? Now, this is a hill. Not very steep, however, but it will prove the principle of what I'm trying to tell you guys. Now, when Jared being drugged, if a mountain lion grabs you by your neck or your head or your hair, whatever the mountain lion grabs you by, it's going to leave your feet to kick and dangle and all that. And if anybody's tried to take their jogging pants off over their shoes, they know exactly what can happen. You can trip and fall on your face. I've done it before. So I already know that being drugged across the ground can pull your pants inside out, because it's happened to me as a kid. That's not the part I'm trying to prove. The question was how he got all the way up 5,000 feet above the trail with his shoes still on his feet, because his shoes were loose. Therefore, fair enough. Okay. Man, I love you guys. The things I do. I'm just glad nobody's watching the dude pull his jogging pants down and stuff. It's awkward. But anyway, man, the things that I do. Now, YouTube, I got shorts on, so don't sit there saying I'm trying to strip or something, okay? All I'm merely doing is trying to prove a point. Alright. Now, now the question isn't, I had my leg burned a long time ago. Look at that burn right there. It's a grease burn. Hot grease fell on my leg. I had to go to the hospital. All that good stuff. Look at that. That's neither here nor there. The question is, how can the shoes stay on the feet being drugged 5,000 feet up above a trail? That's the question. Now, I already know your pants can be turned inside out, because I was a kid and I used to play in jogging pants, and I fell down hills and had my pants pulled off. I'm sure all of you have. Now, these are loose. The strings are loose. So here we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull them down like that right there, because he's kicking. Keep in mind, he's probably kicking because it's dragging him by his upper body. Now, they're inside out. That would explain why his pants were found inside out. Now, you're probably saying, well, how did his shoes get up there? Let me show you. You're kicking, okay? Getting mud all over the place. Okay, you're kicking. Now look at this. I can't get these shoes off now. These shoes are stuck on my feet. And I'm not kidding you. I'm pulling hard as I can. Now, they're even more inside out. And even if this shoe, I'm going to kick it off. Okay, this shoe is off. But look, it's still wrapped up in the pants. Booyah, baby. Furthermore, just pulling the jogging pants over the shoes is hard. But if both shoes come off and you keep kicking, yeah, you can be pulled out. But you just seen how it can hold on. How those jogging pants can hold on to those shoes.
And they also found his sweatshirt essentially in one piece. They also found two shoes, and the shoes show an interesting part of the story in that they almost look brand new, not showing the wearer 4 years in the winter. Now, the climb we just made up this hillside is truly remarkable, because my partner and I had to get on our hands and knees to make that climb. We had to stop numerous times, and it was almost an unbelievable trek to get up here with the equipment. The idea that a boy was possibly in the mouth of a mountain lion or a bear and made that journey, especially knowing that Jared's pants and his shoes were on him when he left the trail, knowing that his shoes were not tied. His dad even said that the shoes never would have made the journey up the side of this hill because they weren't tied and they would have fallen off. So it really makes the mind wonder, how did Jared get up here knowing that the shoes were untied, loose on his feet? He didn't like to wear shoes. And yet he made it up, his remains made it up the side of this hill, intact. His 2 shoes, pants, and his shirt.
Now, now what do you think about that? Bam! Alright, I'm not going to be cocky this time. But, I mean, if a mountain lion came up, he's wearing a t-shirt and he's wearing a sweatshirt over the t-shirt. If it grabbed him, you've seen mountain lions, I think they can carry their cubs by the back of the hind of their neck, and they can carry them around. So to think that this thing couldn't pick up a 3-year-old boy and pull him up a mountain is crazy, because it could. And what I just did explains how his shoes would not have come off, because I was kicking as hard as I could. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm pretty sure my legs are stronger than a 3-year-old kid's legs are, and I could not kick those shoes off. Now, I think by the time he got up 5,000 feet or so, I think they finally came off his feet after kicking around, and I think that they just come off once they got up that high after. But I just showed you how the shoes could have just stayed right there with him the whole time he got pulled up the hill without coming off. The pants tangling into it. I know plenty of times when I was a kid, I slid and my pants got pulled down like sliding into a home plate playing baseball. So what I'm saying is very, very interesting. And I've heard nobody mention it. However, think about it. Now, the shirt, people say, well, there's no blood on it. Well, the t-shirt never was found, first off, just the outer shirt. And once he was up 5,000 feet, maybe he got loose and turned his legs toward this cat and was kicking at it, and it grabbed his leg and pulled him out of his shirt. I mean, this shirt's buttons down all the way halfway down almost. So it'd be easy to be pulled out of that shirt. Easy, without turning it inside out. But the elastics on his pants, that's a different story. So I think this is a logical argument, and I thought you guys might be pretty interested in it. Love you guys, and like I said, comment below what you think, or just drop by and say hello. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry for that last video, and just like this video if you liked it. Share it if you want to share it. Helps the channel. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.